Look down at your desk. There's probably a pencil sitting there. Small, ordinary, forgettable. You might use it for a few minutes and then toss it aside. But what if I told you that this simple object has traveled farther than most people ever will? Before it reached your hand, your pencil crossed forests, mountains, oceans, factories, and continents. It contains materials ripped from deep underground. Parts of it may have started life thousands or even millions of years ago. Every pencil is secretly a world traveler, and once you see its journey, you'll never look at one the same way again. Every pencil begins as a tree, but not just any tree. Many pencils are made from cedar because cedar is strong, lightweight, and easy to sharpen. Imagine a cedar tree standing quietly in a forest. For decades, it grows. Rain falls on it. Snow covers it. Birds build nests in its branches. Year after year, the tree slowly stores sunlight inside its wood. Then one day, machines arrive. The tree is cut down. Its life as a tree ends. Its life as a pencil begins. The logs are loaded onto trucks and hauled to lumber mills. There, giant saws slice them into thin wooden slots. These slots don't look like pencils yet. They look like simple pieces of wood, but they're already beginning one of the most incredible journeys on Earth. Now comes the strangest part. The writing core of a pencil is called lead, but pencils contain absolutely no lead. In fact, the name is a centuries-old mistake. Long ago, people discovered a shiny black material and thought it was lead. It wasn't. It was graphite, and we've been calling it pencil lead ever since. Graphite is made from carbon, the same element found in diamonds. Think about that. Diamonds and pencil cores are made from the same basic ingredient. One becomes a luxury worth millions. The other costs a few cents. The graphite inside your pencil may have been mined hundreds or thousands of kilometers away from where the wood was harvested. Already, two separate journeys are happening. Wood from one place, graphite from another, both racing toward the same destination. The graphite's adventure starts deep underground. Miners extract massive chunks of graphite-bearing rock. Huge machines crush the rock into smaller pieces. Then it goes through a series of cleaning and refining processes. The goal is simple: separate the graphite from everything else. By the time the process is finished, the material has traveled through mines, processing facilities, and transportation networks. The graphite is then mixed with clay. More clay creates a harder pencil. Less clay creates a softer one. That's why pencils have different grades: HB, 2B, 4B, 6B. The exact recipe changes how dark your writing appears. What seems like a tiny black stick is actually the result of carefully engineered chemistry. Now let's talk about the eraser. Most people think of it as the least interesting part, but its journey may be even longer. Traditional rubber comes from rubber trees. These trees grow in tropical regions thousands of kilometers away from many pencil factories. Workers tap the trees and collect a milky liquid called latex. That latex is processed into rubber. The rubber is shipped across oceans, then transformed into erasers. By now, our pencil has components from forests, mines, plantations, factories, ports, cargo ships, trucks, and warehouses. The pencil hasn't even been assembled yet, and it's already traveled farther than many humans do in a year. Eventually, all the materials arrive at the pencil factory. This is where the magic happens. Wood slots are carved with tiny grooves. Graphite cores are carefully placed inside. Another slot is glued on top, like a sandwich. The two pieces of wood trap the graphite inside. Machines squeeze everything together. Then giant cutters shape the wood into familiar pencil forms: hexagonal, round, triangular. Paint is added, logos are stamped, metal ferrules are attached, erasers are inserted. For the first time, the object finally looks like a pencil, but its journey isn't over, not even close. Many pencils spend weeks traveling across the planet. Some ride inside giant shipping containers. Others move through trains and cargo trucks. They cross oceans, pass through ports, travel along highways, sit inside warehouses, wait on shelves. Imagine thousands of pencils packed together in darkness, all waiting for someone to choose them. Most never know where they're going. A classroom, an office, an artist's studio, a writer's desk, or maybe yours. One day, someone buys the pencil. After months or even years of travel, it finally reaches its destination, a desk. For the first time, the journey pauses. The pencil is no longer cargo. It's now a tool, a student's homework, an architect's blueprint, an artist's sketch, a scientist's notes, a novelist's first sentence. Entire ideas begin with a pencil touching paper. Some of humanity's greatest creations started with marks made by objects exactly like this one. A simple pencil can design a skyscraper, draft a law, create a masterpiece, or write a love letter. Its true value isn't what it's made of, it's what it makes possible. Unlike most tools, a pencil slowly destroys itself while doing its job. Every word makes it shorter. Every drawing consumes a tiny piece of it. Every sharpening removes part of its body. Imagine if cars became smaller every time they were driven, or phones shrank every time they were used. That's essentially what pencils do. They sacrifice themselves to transfer ideas from the mind onto paper, little by little, line by line, word by word, until eventually only a tiny stub remains. Most pencils end quietly, lost in drawers, dropped under furniture, thrown away, forgotten. Yet, even at the end, their journey continues. The wood decomposes, the graphite remains, the materials return to the environment from which they originally came. In a strange way, the pencil completes a full circle, from nature to factory to human imagination and back again. The next time you pick up a pencil, take a closer look. You're not holding a simple writing tool. You're holding a tiny collection of global journeys, a piece of a forest, a fragment of a mine, material carried across oceans, assembled by countless hands, and delivered to your desk after traveling thousands of kilometers, all so you can write a single word. The pencil may be the smallest object around you, but it might also be the most traveled. And that's the secret life of a pencil.